This is a history of Julius Caesar according to Suetonius. I will start from when Caesar became praetor and what happened after the discovery of Catiline Conspiracy, an important event in his life. There are other parts of this video that cover different moments in Caesar's life, but they can all be understood on their own. If you are interested, feel free to check out those other parts on this channel. The Catiline Conspiracy was a failed attempt to seize power involving a plan to assassinate leading senators, including Cicero. Catiline, who was the main figure behind this plot, was eventually exposed and fled Rome, while his followers were declared public enemies. According to this account, Caesar was the only senator who opposed capital punishment for the conspirators. Instead, he proposed that they be placed in safe custody in various Italian towns with their property confiscated. This was a very wise move, though Caesar faced a lot of criticism and even threats, which caused him to be absent from the Senate for the rest of the year. His reasoning was sound. Executing without trial was dangerous because it set a precedent that could later be used against any senator or citizen. There was also moral argument. What kind of example would this set for future generations if decisions were made based on emotions rather than reason? Caesar was later dismissed by Caecilius Metellus, tribune of the people. Both were removed from office by a vote of the Senate. However, Caesar continued in the administration of justice, but was eventually dismissed from this as well. Ultimately, his position was restored, but then a problem arose when his name appeared among the accomplices of Catiline. His opposition was, however, smoothly removed. After many political maneuvers, some very complex, others less so, we come to the time when Caesar formed an alliance with Crassus and Pompey. This is also the part that we see in the documentary Roman Empire. Though there were some clashes, they ultimately agree that nothing should be done in government that displeased any of the three. Upon entering office, Caesar introduced a new regulation requiring written records of everything that happened in the Senate and among the people to be kept and published. This regulation was later eliminated by Augustus. By then, Caesar had gained a strong reputation, as evidenced by the fact that during later opposition concerning the division of public lands, no one was brave enough to come forward effectively. Gradually, affairs were taken over by Caesar as he ascended to power. It came to the point that when some witnesses signed any instrument, they did not add in the consulship of Caesar and Bibulus, who was co-consul with Caesar, but rather Julius and Caesar, putting the same person down twice, once by the name and once by surname. Thus a word became famous. Nothing was done in the ear of Bibulus. No, Caesar alone was consul here. Many conspiracies and opposition arose against Caesar, some even involving Cicero, but he managed them effectively. To strengthen his position, he married Calpurnia, a woman made famous by William Shakespeare in the play Julius Caesar. After this, he gave his daughter Julia in marriage to Pompey to forge a strong alliance. Gaul, which had been divided into 3 provinces, eventually came under his control. After ruling there for a year, he managed to maintain a form of power. History records many of his accomplishments, including an incident where a man challenged Caesar's boast about his success in acquiring land, saying it would not be easy for a woman, referring Caesar as a woman. Caesar replied that the Sumerians once ruled Syria, and the Amazonians controlled a large part of Asia. During his 9-year rule, Caesar achieved much, though he also suffered personal losses, including the deaths of his mother and his daughter Julia, Pompey's wife, who died in childbirth, After these losses, he won the favor of the people by introducing new laws, organizing well-structured gladiator games, and offering Pompey his sister's granddaughter, Octavia, in marriage. There were many disagreements among powerful men and several attempts to remove Caesar's authority as he grew more powerful, even in the eyes of the people, who praised his work for them. Conquering many lands, Caesar famously led his troops to the banks of the Rubicon, the boundary of his province, and told his soldiers, "We may still retreat, but if we cross, nothing remains but to fight." As he hesitated to make a decision, an incident occurred. A man playing a pipe sat nearby and began to play, attracting many men. Then suddenly he snatched a trumpet, ran to the other side, and sounded it to rally the army. Seeing this as a divine sign, Caesar moved forward. One of the lasting reforms was correcting the calendar with the help of the Egyptian philosopher Sosigenes. This led to the creation of the Julian calendar, introducing a leap year system to align the calendar with the solar year. Though slightly inaccurate, it remained in use until 1582. Caesar's triumphs also showcased his power and his speed. During the Pontic triumph, a tablet bore the famous phrase, "I came, I saw, I conquered," symbolizing the swiftness of his victory. His reforms and achievements, both civic and military, reflected his vision of transforming Rome into a more efficient and glorious empire. Though many of his plans were cut short by his assassination, this video covers the portion of his life from Egypt to becoming a great dictator with control over everything. However, many other events remain, such as his relationship with Cleopatra, clashes with Pompey, and further political developments during his reign. I will discuss those in the next part. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more.